Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I hope you stick around. Today I wanted to do my April wrap-up or my o.w.l.s results. I was not planning on filming this video, but I decided to, so I'm doing it late, but it's fine. Better late than never again. I'm going to say this in like every single video, but it's fine. So if you did not watch my o.w.l.s TBR video, I was studying to be... I don't even remember, it's been so long. April's been such a long month, to be completely honest. I was studying to be a trader of magical tomes, basically a bookseller. I can't even speak. So for this, I had to read 4 books. I ended up switching out one of the books halfway through, and then I also ended up reading one more book, not for the o.w.l.s, so I figured I would just put all of that in this video. So the first book I had to read was For Ancient Runes, which was a cover with a heart on it. And for this one I read Girls Like Me, which I did not enjoy. I gave it like 1.5 stars, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Basically, it was a middle grade that I just did not enjoy. I was going to cut it a bit of slack because it was a middle grade, but then I remembered that I've read other middle grades that are very good, and this one just did not do it. Like, it just was not... It tackled some things that were not tackled very well. Like, it had some issues with the representation. Like, it tried to represent certain groups and it just was not done well. Like, the characters were reduced to their one trait that is supposed to be represented. So the whole thing was problematic for me. I just didn't like it. So my second exam was Charms, for which I had to read a book with a white cover. For this one I chose Maid because the book jacket was white, but I didn't actually have the book jacket on for most of the time I was reading this book, and surprise, the book itself is yellow. Don't tell my mom I cheated. Anyways, I gave this one maybe 3.5-ish stars. I was kind of conflicted. It's a memoir. I'm happy for the author for finally like achieving her dreams, I guess. There were just some things in this book that were, again, a little bit problematic. Also, the middle was very dry. I got tired very fast and had to start reading like 2 other books at the same time because it was just not moving. Like, the story was not moving at all, and I know that it's a memoir, but it was just a little bit too repetitive for me. Also, the author seemed very judgmental at times, and I get that it was like her coping mechanism the entire time. Okay, let me like explain what this book is about before I start going on tangents. Basically, it follows the author, Stephanie Land, as she struggles as a maid, a housemaid, on her way to kind of get to college while raising her young daughter that she had after a summer fling where her boyfriend was basically abusive, and just like all kinds of stuff like that. And it follows her story over those 5 years as she is getting to college and raising her kid. And it deals with a lot of heavy topics, as I said in my TBR video and in the vlogs where I was reading it, and I really liked the message of it, but it just could have been delivered a little bit better in my opinion. So the third book I had to read was For History of Magic, and for this one I read The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. This one I was very conflicted about. If you watched my vlogs, you know that every time I talked about this book, I had a different opinion about it. But basically, until the end of the book, I didn't even care about the characters. And then once I got to the end, I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to reread this whole book actually caring about the characters. But I don't know when that's gonna happen. Until then, it has a pretty cover, it had a cool storyline that I felt was told as if from very far away. I don't know, it just seemed very aloof, detached, pick your word. So the last book I read for the o.w.l.s was Transfiguration, which is a book that includes shape-shifting. For this one, I was supposed to read The Beast Within, and I picked it up while I was still reading Maid because I got bored with Maid, and then I didn't really like it, or like I just couldn't get into it in like the first 10 pages. I picked it because it was short, and I didn't think I would have time to read the rest of my books. But I ended up starting it like halfway through the month, and I was like, okay, so by the time I finished Maid, I still had enough time to like read a longer book, and I've been wanting to read Children of Blood and Bone for some time now, so I figured I would just give it a shot. It doesn't exactly have shape-shifting in it, but I saw some people making it work, so I figured I would just do it anyway. So this is what I read for Transfiguration instead of The Beast Within. I liked this book, but I didn't love it. I gave it 4 stars because I knew it was written well, but I just could not get into the storyline as much. Like, it wasn't very immersive for me, even though it was told in a very immersive manner. I think it was just me being distracted. I don't know. It's a very good story. I would recommend it. I'm very happy to see representation in popular YA fantasy. which is great. I'm so happy this is out and popular, but I just didn't love it. The characters were very annoying for me, and I don't know if it's just because it's YA, but like the first few chapters of the book, eventually they did grow on me, but the first few chapters of the book, I was like, why are you being so dumb? Why are you making some dumb choices? And why are you like getting other people in trouble because of your actions? That's not something that goes away. They keep getting other people in trouble. I don't know if that's just a hallmark of YA, like they just make really dumb choices, like teenagers just are dumb. I don't know. It just bothered me because they were really annoying. And also the prince character, I don't even remember his name, but he is like constantly switching. Like, I read this in a review and I wasn't sure what to expect. Basically, he's constantly changing his mind about what he wants out of his life and like his loyalties, and he like every chapter is told from a different perspective, and every time you come back to his character, he's changed his mind. Within the course of the other 2 chapters, he has changed his mind, and I'm just like, make up your mind. I'm indecisive, I understand, but this is too much. This is like a different boy every time you come back to him. Anyways, that was a lot. That was, yeah, okay. Good book. Didn't love it, would recommend it. Again, this is mostly for me chronicling my thoughts, so I'm not gonna worry too much about recommending, not recommending. You can make that choice for yourself. So the final book that I read this month, I don't actually own. I read it as an ebook, and it was called Brother, I'm Dying. I mentioned it in my very last o.w.l.s vlog, I believe, and it was very good. Probably the only 5-star that I gave this month. I read it for class, actually. It was for my health humanities class, in which we learn about the liberal arts perspective on healthcare, which is interesting. But it's basically a memoir sort of story that follows the author as she grows up in Haiti, as she moves to the United States and finds out that her father is dying. And that's not a spoiler, it's like the very first chapter of the book is her father is dying. And it also talks about her relationship with her uncle and his wife in Haiti, who raised her when her parents moved to the United States. And overall, it's like this overarching kind of book about family and growing up, and also like immigration and also political unrest and just all kinds of stuff. It's pretty heavy. It's also very good. It's like 400 pages, so not like super long. I would highly recommend reading this book though, because honestly, I didn't know anything about Haiti. Like, I didn't know anything about the political unrest, like the United States role in any of that, or like any of the struggles faced by the people living there and the struggles they continue to face. Like, I knew the immigration system was like messed up. I don't mean to like launch into a political tirade, but like it just, the ending of this book made me furious and very sad at the same time. Like, it's the only book this month that actually made me cry, and I don't know. I just have a lot of feelings, but if you're into like those kind of books, and even if you're not, like, I highly suggest giving it a shot. As a person who like usually judges a book by its cover, the cover of this book is not exactly aesthetically pleasing, but I think that the contents of the book more than make up for it, because it is a very good book. It's very beautifully written, and it flows very well with all the time changes and everything, and even when you know kind of what's coming, some of the things still catch you off guard, and it's just very poignant. So I would highly recommend this book. So anyways, that was my April o.w.l.s wrap-up video. If you enjoyed, as always, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you thought down below. If you've read any of these books, or if you plan on reading any of these books, let me know. I want to know. And as always, if you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon.